Hello, everybody. It's Andy Smith, 33-year veteran of the comic book industry with another exciting book look. Or could you say magazine? Because this is stapled. So not really a book, more of a magazine. Rippazine. What is Rippazine for those just joining? Eric July, social media YouTuber, started a comic book company called the Rippaverse. He put out a book called Isom. That's this guy. A couple years back, he's got two volumes, issues out of Isom. He put out a book called Alpha Core, which is this guy and a team of people. Last year, Yaira came out recently. The only book I got was Isom #1. Wasn't my cup of tea. I did not continue. Alpha Core I bought because Chuck Dixon, who I'm pals with, wrote it. Joe Bennett, who I know online and have interacted with, whose art I really liked, drew it. And so I bought that. Yaira, just from what I saw, had no interest in whatsoever. And full honesty, the reason I got this is because my buddy Bart Sears drew a 13-page story in it. And if Bart did it, I get it. So I actually ordered this on the website from Rippaverse. And then I ended up seeing Bart at Heroes Con, and he already got his comp copies. So Bart actually gave me one at Heroes Con before I got the one that I ordered. From a customer service standpoint, you know, I ordered it. It said that the shipping was via FedEx flat rate, and the rate was cheap. It was like $7-8, so can't complain about that. But if you're going to tell somebody, customers, the shipping is via FedEx, everybody knows, oh, FedEx, well, that means I'll get it within 4 to 5 days. You know, I didn't expect to get it overnight or even 2 days, but I thought 4 to 5 days. It took about 3 weeks to a month for me to finally get it. I actually emailed customer service to ask where it was, and they got back to me right away, but they basically said, you know, because of their volume of orders, not just for this, but for everything, you know, they're doing the best they can. So my advice would be, well, then don't ship via FedEx, just ship regular mail, because I would have got it within that same time frame. So just saying, if you say FedEx, most people expect it quick. This is the character Salvage. This is drawn by Canaan White, not Bart, but there you go. So this is their version of like Wizard Magazine in a way, except Wizard Magazine covered the whole industry. Rippaverse just covers, you know, Eric July's company. So you've got a letter from the editor. That's cool. You know, some credits and stuff going down. And then they're calling this issue 1. So you've got the table of contents right here. Feature comic Salvage. The reason I got it starts on page 8. And then we'll just go through it. So Artist Corner. Igor Texeria is the lead illustrator for the Rippaverse, lending his talents to the many graphics across our website, social media, and even some of our merchandise, including the hit Yara t-shirt and the Ingrid Valdez Alpha Core sweatshirt and more. So he's basically going through a drawing tutorial. So, okay, that's cool. I like stuff like this, showing the layers and such. That's cool. I like it. A little behind the scenes. Here, talking about going into, I guess he did everything on this, not just the coloring, but the art and everything. So cool. So you can learn some stuff there. Here we go. This is why I got it. Salvage P.I. It's written by Eric, drawn by Bart. Like I said, you know me. Bart was my mentor at the Kubert School. We're still really good friends. I love his storytelling and his art. The colorist is Jay Brown. Overall, I think the coloring came out fine. I do like the paper stock. It's not super glossy. Buddy Eric Weathers did the lettering. The biggest critique I have behind this is Bart Sears is known for drawing big dudes, hot chicks, great superhero stuff, or barbarian. You know, he did do a few Conan things. This story, if it's centered around this guy, who looks like a classic type character in regards to the musculature and stuff, I'd be like, oh, sweet. But it centers around this guy, Salvage, who his clothing, his costume design is this. It's a sharp-dressed man in a suit. I mean, if I was hiring Bart, I'd probably have him draw a short story featuring Isom, who wears a costume, superhero-type costume, Alpha Core, something like that. Probably not a guy in a suit. I read this. I mean, I got it for the art. The story really wasn't anything that I was, like, blown away by. Not my cup of tea. I guess this dude's superpower is he has super hearing, so, I mean, okay. His one power set is the dude can hear real good. I mean, that can be advantageous. Bart, of course, I think did a great job with the visuals. His panel-to-panel flow has always been something I've admired. The way he moves your eye across the page, his camera movement from long shots to pulling in closer. The dramatics, most of the story is a gunfight. He does really well. Facial expressions, things like this, which I'm sure wasn't written in the script. And what I mean by that, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it wasn't panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Panel 6, Salvage hears something. Panel 7, pulling closer on his ear. Panel 8, pulling even closer. That's a Bart thing. And it works great. I mean, this dude's power is super hearing, so you're pulling in. So that's cool. It focuses on it. I like the change of color and stuff. Just once again, I don't think this was using Bart to his best, what he's known for. If the whole story was this guy, I would have been like, oh, hell yeah. Now, funny thing with this, when I saw this page, I was like, dude, that's really cool, Bart. And Bart sent me his original character design, and this guy actually wears something that looks like this, but it's kind of baggy and just normal clothing. So Bart, as the artist, took liberties and said, you know what? I want to draw this guy wearing more skin-tight stuff to make him look cooler. I think that's the proper choice. I hope if Bart does more stuff with Eric July, Eric utilizes him better on stuff like his superhero stuff like Isom or Alpha Core. So we've got an interview with Chuck Dixon. I think that's awesome. Once again, Chuck is a great guy. We've had him on the DNA show. That's the Dennis and Andy show that I do weekly with my buddy Dennis. Every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Plug. Chuck's been in the business forever, written tons of stuff. So this was a nice interview. Then an interview with Mike Barron. Both the Chuck and Mike are doing a couple new things for Eric July. Interview with Dean Cain. I mean, that's cool. Dean Cain is, I don't think he's doing anything with Eric July. He is doing something with Gabe Altaib, a book called Dean Cain, All-American Lawman. But, yeah, that's cool. Nice little interview there, talking about Dean and his past and stuff. The Soska sister, Soska, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. I'm not really that familiar with these sisters. I guess they've done some type of small film stuff. I've seen some clips of it. Not really my cup of tea. They're writing that book, Yaira, who is, once again, this chick here. And just real quick, I like these costume designs. I don't mind this design. Simple and sleek. I even did a drawing of them a few years back before the book actually came out. It's on my channel. The video of me drawing it, I've posted it. I like this guy. Everybody in the Alpha Corps dressed kind of similarly because they're part of this team. And even her costume, I think is kind of neat. Oh, an ad for Dean Cain, All-American Lawman here. That's Gabe's company, Big Man Comics. That's so funny. That just reminds me of the NBA. Is it me or anybody else? That logo just kind of reminds me of the NBA. Anyhow, moving on. Rippaverse, the Achromatic Chronicles Green. I'm not sure. This is kind of like a fan thing here as well. Prepare yourself for an ominous odyssey through the cosmic abyss as the celestial bodies align to cast the shroud upon your fate. Steel thyself, for the Blood Ruth horoscope beckons. So I guess you get a little bit of your horoscope. I haven't really read this in a while. Lillian's Hot Tea. You know, so just kind of some typical fanzine type stuff. You know, it's interesting. Choppers Club. Hello, gentlemen of Floor Spark. Harriet's Kitchen. Some recipes and stuff. You know, fun stuff that you've seen in zines. This is a preview of Mike Barron's book that he's doing with Will Conrad. Will Conrad comes from the Mike Deodato studio. Same with Cliff Richards, who Cliff did Isom. I think Mike is probably the best. And then I'd say it's Will Conrad. And then Cliff is third man. You know, that's just, you know, kind of how I rate him. Gooding, the Polymath. Not quite sure what it's about. Tell the origin story of a genius entrepreneur, Cato Gooding, and how he came to be the self-made man he is today in a one-shot graphic novel. Okay. Isom. This was the first book. Like I said, I bought this book. You know, it just, I got to be honest, I can't remember the page count of it, but I just thought it was really tame. And the fact that Isom, you didn't really see him in costume until the very last page of the book. I'm not quite sure I would have set the story up that way. But that's just me. And then some preview pages from part 2, which I never got. So, you know, it is what it is. It's just, I like the comics that are more exaggerated and you know, old school John Buscema, you know, Bart stuff, Alan Davis, Neil Adams, guys like that, you know. I think this could have been a lot more dramatic. Horseman is by Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett. That's all you get. Okay, so that's kind of a mistake. It's literally one page. I would have at least shown something else. I'm sure there's some artwork. Alpha Core here. Texas Trust. This is from the book I did back and get. Joe Bennett put a lot of work in. I know this is about Rippazine, but if I had any critique of Alpha Core, it's that I did like this. This is kind of a homage to the Superman cover of him flying over the city. I thought that was kind of cool. If I had any critique, is I was turned off over the fact that I think there were like 4 or 5 anchors on the book, which I don't understand why there were 4 or 5 anchors on the book. There was plenty of time from when this book was solicited to when it came out. So, I don't know. That was just weird to me. You would think stuff like this, maybe 2 anchors tops, but 4 to 5. And I thought overall it was fine, but then there were a couple pages that stood out to me like, oh, this is definitely a new anchor. But maybe that's just me. Blood Ruth, another book. The Soska sisters, I guess, are known for like short horror films. We'll team up with, so the winner of a fan art contest, Michael Montanot, sorry if I butchered that, is going to be the artist on it. So, you know, hey, that's cool. No preview pages or anything. Yara, this is from Yara. Like I said, I didn't get this one either. Just, I don't know. Not my cup of tea. Didn't really excite me enough to want to get it. So, and then Meet the Staff. So Marcos Rios, kind of nice. I think it's cool when you introduce some of the staff that helps you with the company. And then, of course, ads for some of their stuff. Obviously, makes sense. And then, I guess, services offered by Rippa called Rippazine. So, there you go. That is Rippazine. If you didn't get it, I don't know if they're still doing, he's got some $5 sale going on because I do, you know, see his social postings and stuff. So he's got some $5 sale going on right now. So maybe you can go pick this up for $5. I'm not sure if this is $5 or not, if it falls into the category. But, you know, hey, go check it out. I do know from what I've seen online, I guess some of these original offerings like Isom, I guess some of those are $5. I don't know. I mean, it's been a couple of years and, you know, it's his company. He can do whatever he wants. I remember Isom, I think, was like $35. That's a really, really deep discount. Probably should have saved that for Black Friday. But anyhow, this has been your book look for the week. Something a little different. Catch you guys next week. Like, subscribe, and share. Coming up, the KOR-DRATH, The Awakening trailer. If you like Game of Thrones, Dungeons and Dragons, and high testosterone fantasy adventure like Conan, you will like KOR-DRATH, The Awakening. Check out the trailer. And going to print in the next couple weeks is KOR-DRATH, A Christmas Miracle. It is a tale about KOR-DRATH and Adriana settling in for Christmas. KOR-DRATH has to go on an adventure to get her the best Christmas present ever. It is a children's book for young readers. Go check that out too. Links are in the description below. I'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.